Look, y'all. No greasy hair. Hi guys, my name is Emma. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started today, I just wanted to make a very small announcement. This is gonna be my last full-length video for a while. My schooling, like my thesis, is really picking up, and I have a class at the same time as my thesis. And I always knew my thesis was gonna be pretty labor intensive, but as it turns out, the class I'm taking with my thesis is also incredibly labor intensive, more so than I was expecting. Like, I know it's grad school, but like, obviously I know it's grad school, but it just, the two at the same time just turned out to be a little bit more than what I was expecting. Plus there's some other life stuff that I have going on that I just like have to pay attention to and address. I just won't have time to sit down, film, and edit and upload videos at the moment. I will still be posting on my TikTok, and I will be doing, I'm hoping to do some YouTube shorts too, as it won't be as time consuming to film and edit like a full-length video can be. How does one articulate themselves? Me? Not well, apparently. Anyway, so last full-length video for a while. Hopefully get some YouTube shorts in. Will be posting on my TikTok, which will be linked in the description. So, and I'll probably be back to filming full-length videos probably in August, because that is when I'm completely done with all of my grad school education. So yeah, that's the announcement. Just look out for some YouTube shorts, and again, go over to my TikTok. But for today's video, I was thinking that I would do my makeup according to my zodiac sign. My zodiac sign is Libra. I love being a Libra, always have, always will. And I know a little bit about astrology. I know like your sun sign, rising, and moon signs, the different personalities of the signs, a little bit about like your Venus sign. But other than that, I'm not super, like that's kind of where my knowledge ends. I don't know anything about the houses. I don't know a whole lot about the other planets. Hello, I think that's it. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So I already have my base and eyebrows done. And my cream contour, so I'm just going to show you really quick what I did for that. For primer, I used the Cover FX Mattifying Primer. For foundation, I used the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation in 2N. For concealer, I used the KVD Good Apple Concealer in Light 105. For cream contour, I used the Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick in Biscuit. Product actually looks like. I'm really mad that this product is so expensive, because it's probably at the moment my favorite contour shade, or contoured shade and product. For loose powder, I use the Rare Beauty setting powder in Light. There we go. For pressed powder, I use the CoverGirl True Blend pressed powder in 1 Translucent Fair. For my eyebrows, I use the NYX Fill and Fluff eyebrow pencil in Espresso. And then for brow gel, I just used the NYX The Brow Glue. To learn more about my sign, I decided to use this book. It is called Libra by Stella Andromeda. When I got this book, I saw that there were others. I know it's like the same company. I don't know if they're all by Stella Andromeda, but they were like others of like Aries, Taurus, Aquarius, Pisces, you know, the whole zodiac. The one thing about this book I will say is that it says Libra only goes to the 21st of October. I was born on the 22nd of October, and most other places I see it, it says that Libra goes until the 22nd of October. I identify the most with Libra traits. Signs are a little bit kind of like generations. It depends on what, it depends on what website you look at, really, because the starting and end dates of generations are a little bit different. Sometimes that's the way it is with zodiacs, but most of the time where I see it, it's October 22nd. So yeah, I'm gonna be taking everything else from this book to do my zodiac makeup, but that's just the one thing. Just the one thing. It's a small thing. So the back of this book says, Beauty, Balance, Love. Artist Libra, Friend for Life, High Romance, Fair Play. In our increasingly turbulent world, many of us are looking to the sky to find guidance in the ancient art of astrology. In Libra, Stella Andromeda will tell you everything you need to know about your astrological life as the scales. Learn how to harness the ancient power of the Zodiac and open your mind to what the universe can offer in ways you never would have imagined. With advice that covers everything from self-care to sex, this little book is your key to a very starry future. It is Hardy Grant Books, by the way. Hardie, Grant. We won't be looking at like the self-care and sex stuff, really. I'm just gonna be looking at the different characteristics of Libra and the different like aesthetic aspects of Libra, like the lucky color, flower, and gemstone and all of that. So let's dive in, shall we? And this book is really cool. It has like, obviously it has like the Libra characteristics, the deep dive into Libra, and then it has like a give me more section where it tells you about birth charts, moon signs, ascending signs, the elements, Mercury in retrograde. It's really cool. It's very interesting. So here we go. All right, Libra, the scales. A cardinal air sign, and we'll get into what cardinal and air sign mean in a little bit. Ruled by Venus, Libra is all about beauty, balance, as depicted by the scales, and harmony in its rather romanticized ideal world. With a strong aesthetic sense, Libra can be both arty and crafty, but also likes fairness and can be very diplomatic. Its opposite sign is fiery Aries. By opposite signs, I think they mean like the birth charts are technically like in a circle, like the zodiac circle, and then I think there's different lines indicating your individual birth chart, I want to say. And sister signs, again, I don't know that much about birth charts, so I could be totally wrong. But that's how I think they are. And on the circle is like the sister and opposite signs are the ones that are like directly diagonal from each other. So I think Aries and Libra are diagonal from each other, and so they're sister signs. Ruled by Venus, the planet associated with the Roman goddess of beauty, fertility, prosperity, and love. Statement of self is I balance. Here's some Libra characteristics. Keywords for Libra are balance, harmony, and diplomacy. Generally inclined to create peace, using silver-tongued words to soothe and placate. They are also good listeners and the least argumentative sign of the zodiac. That doesn't mean Libra doesn't enjoy debating the issue. In fact, they relish it, weighing up the pros and cons of a situation, trying to balance both sides according to their astrological sign, the scales. There is a huge sense of fairness that drives them in an objectivity that allows Libra to see both sides. This ability to prioritize rational thought over feelings can often work in their favor, but can sometimes make them appear a rather reserved, cool customer. In fact, in extreme, this ability to see all sides can work against them, as others might distrust the Libra inclination to try to please all the people all the time. That balancing act can sometimes look a little too much like a sitting on the fence, and Libra needs to remember that it's also important to say what they are actually thinking and feeling in order to communicate well, even at the risk of ruffling a few feathers. That same sense of balance and harmony often shows up through artistic appreciation or talent, whether that's an admiration for or an ability to do something beautiful, either through their own artistic effort or just in their home decor and the way they arrange some things as simple as their beautifully laundered linen tea towels. Very detail-oriented and aesthetic. What may be luxuries for others are necessities for Libra, whether that's freshly ground artisan roasted beans for their coffee, the 600 thread count of their bedsheets, or regular manicures and stylish haircuts. Good-natured and good company with an easy sociable manner and smooth-talking repartee. Libra often has many acquaintances but fewer close friends. In fact, all that emotional balancing they do in their heads can create a sense of uncertainty, making it difficult for them to trust people and allow the intimacy that creates close bonds, and this uncertainty can sometimes be mistaken for self-reliance or airy indifference. But relationships are essential to Libra. They need them to balance themselves and thrive, so learning to manage these contradictions is important, and once a trusted bond has been made, that ambivalence can be overcome. So very aesthetic, very detail-oriented, can appear closed off, but not trying to be, just overthinking everything all the time. For aesthetic things, I would say I definitely like, it's weird because when I don't feel like I have a specific aesthetic, really. I just kind of like things if I like them. And I enjoy my interests. I enjoy displaying things like my eyeshadow palettes. I like to look at them. I like that they're on display, and the blind box figures that I collect, I like having those on display and looking at those. So aesthetic is fun. Is it the most important thing in the world? No, but it's fun. And Libras, I guess, are materialistic. So I wanted to go really quick into what a cardinal sign is and what an air sign is. The realm of ideas is where these air signs excel. Perceptive and visionary and able to see the big picture, there's a very reflective quality to air sign that helps to vent situations. Too much air, however, can dissipate intention, so Gemini might be indecisive. Libra has a tendency to sit on the fence, while Aquarius can be very disengaged. Not only is Libra an air sign, it's also a cardinal sign, which is basically kind of like where it falls, I believe, in like the year and how planets and seasons line up, I believe. So the cardinal signs, these are action planets with an energy that takes the initiative and gets things started. Aries has the vision, Cancer has the feelings, Libra the contacts, and Capricorn the strategy. Oh, Libra is also ruled by Venus. The planet of love is all about attraction, connection, and pleasure in a female chart it symbolizes her style of femininity, while in a male chart it represents his ideal partner. I don't really subscribe to like the male versus female ideas of astrology, just because a lot of people, you know, don't live on a binary in their gender, or, you know, they're gender fluid. They don't identify with their gender assigned at birth, they're transgender. Like, finally, we're just gonna look at the different kind of aesthetic things about Libra: lucky color, lucky stone, and lucky flower. So, lucky color. Blue in its various shades and pastel shades in particular. These cool, harmonious hues reflect a sophisticated flair, nothing brash or obvious or over-emphatic, that epitomizes Libra. Wear these colors when you need a psychological boost, choosing accessories, shoes, gloves, socks, or even underwear if you don't want to commit head to toe. So, the lucky gem. The opal with its inner fire is Libra's lucky gem, symbolizing hope, faithfulness, and confidence, and imparting greater insight into its wearer. Opals were said to have been wept by Zeus as tears of joy after the defeat of the Titans, and were once considered the jewel of kings. So I'm gonna put up an image right here of like the different examples of opals, because opals can come in various colors and bases and stuff like that. The typical opal that people will kind of think of has kind of like a white base, and it has different like iridescent pastel colors and the rainbow going through it, but there are other kinds of opals. For the flowers, the luxurious blooms of the blue hydrangea, as shown here, appeal to the Libra sense of style and beauty, while Cosmos daisy flowers and their wide variety of blue shades also appeal. So, what have we learned? I'm indecisive. I like pretty things. I like pastel colors, blues, iridescence, sit on the fence, cardinal sign can get us into clubs, apparently. And yeah, I'm just gonna use some of that to do my makeup. So I have some makeup picked out. Move this tissue box. Can you see that if I put that there? You sure can. And really quick, I just want to say this isn't gonna be like a super wearable look. It's not gonna be like special effects either. It's just gonna be like a lot of blush, a lot of highlight, colorful eyeshadow and stuff like that. A little bit of euphoria without the gems, maybe a little bit 80s because of the colors they describe. So yeah, for blush, I'm going to use the Kylie Cosmetics pressed blush powder in Winter Kissed. It is like a very blue toned cool pink. Libras like their pastels and their like colors and, you know, the blues, and this is the blue toned pink. So I'm gonna pack that on pretty generously because I really want to emphasize the pink. The Libra thinks it's pretty. I want everyone to know they think it's pretty. And I do really like this blush. I like it quite a bit. In terms of the formula, it's nothing revolutionary, but I really do like the color. So yeah, put quite a bit on. It's a little more subtle on the viewfinder. A little more intense in real life. That's kind of what I was going for. Bit nose moment. For highlight, I actually have this highlighter from Wet n Wild. It's their Mega Glow highlighting bar. This was actually part of their Zodiac collection that they did some odd years ago. This was the Air. This was part of like the Air collection, which you know as Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So this is just what the bar looks like. Kind of like pinky gold with a little bit of silver in there. And I am just going to put that on the high points of my face and my nose. And I'm really going to pack this on like it is 2016. Not that I do my highlighter any different than I did it in 2016, because I absolutely love highlighter. Highlighter. Some of y'all might be like, that's a strip of highlight. And I'm gonna be like, yes. Sure is, friend. That is what I want. We'll always want a blinding highlight on the tip of my nose. I don't care who you are. I want you to see me from space. Really quick, I'm just gonna prime my eyes with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. And then I will show you, well, before I do that, because I don't want it to crease, I'm gonna show you the different options, the two palettes, and a loose eyeshadow I wanna use. So the first one I'm gonna dip into is the Aurora Struck palette from ColourPop, which you all know I love. It's beautiful. The kind of the 80s vibe, other than the blush, that's gonna come in is I do wanna use a lot of blues and pastels. I think I'm gonna go in with Journey, this light pastel blue right here on my crease and lower lash line. And I think I'm gonna darken that up with a shade from the new Lavish palette by ColourPop, which is gonna be this kind of like blueberry shade on line right here. Because I want to have it, I don't want it to just be straight blue. I want it to have a little bit more depth than that with a little bit of purple, because I just don't want it to be just like a pink and blue look, but I want the purple to be a little bit more subtle because the star is mostly going to be the blues and the pinks, but again, I want more depth. And then Kathleen Lights did a collaboration with ColourPop. Well, she did several, but she came out with these, in one of the collabs, she came out with these loose eyeshadow pigments, and they were Zodiac themed, of like the different like symbols, like Aries, the Ram, Taurus, the Bull, and everything. And I have the collection, and so I wanted to use this one, which is the Scales, which is like a pink base with blue and gold reflective glitters in it. I think you'll be able to see it a little bit better on my eyes. Let's do it. I'm gonna zoom you in. Well, I'm gonna apply the eye primer and then I'm gonna zoom you in. Now that I've applied eye primer and zoomed you in a little bit, I'm going to take this Tarte fluffy eyeshadow brush and I'm gonna go into Journey. Like I said, this pastel blue, and I'm gonna put that in my crease and under my eye. I'm gonna keep it fairly blown out and not super sharp, since the book described the colors being a little bit softer and not quite so outlandish, which I know I've put a lot on of the blush and everything for being outlandish, but like a Libra, it's a delicate balance. So I'm just putting that in my crease. How good I've gotten with my mirror placement. Just taking that, like I said, my lower lash line. Don't recommend trying to look up at the viewfinder while doing this, because you will poke your eye like I just did. I'm really not trying to be super precise with it. I'm going to take this ColourPop E1 brush, which is like a thin, fluffy brush. I'm going to go into the Lavish palette and take that online shade. Right there. And I'm going to put this on my outer corner and also work it into the crease a little bit. And then also put it on my lower lash line. I will say this shade from the ColourPop, the Lavish palette, does take a little bit of love. It does take a little bit of time to blend, but like it gets there eventually. I'm gonna go on the lower lash line now. See how that like gives the blue more depth without it just being a darker blue? It makes it a little bit more interesting. Some of you might be like, Emma, that looks like blue to me. That's just blue. To that I say, fair. I think it has a purple undertone. I'm almost positive it does. It's more like a blueberry. I'm just gonna go back in with that Tarte brush, no extra product, and just blend the edges. The hair's not greasy, but it's still got them flyaways. So I'm gonna show you what I'm doing before I do it, because I don't want to get pigment everywhere. I'm going to take a flat brush. This is the ColourPop E3 brush. I'm going to spray it with this ColourPop. Ooh, a lot of ColourPop in this video. ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. And I'm just gonna dip it into the pigment and just put it on the first half of my eyelid. And I must concentrate to not get pigment all over the bed, because I almost did that last time I filmed this video and we're not having a repeat performance. In the lid you can really see the different shimmers. See, it's like blue and pink, silver and gold. The gold is a lot more subtle than the blue and the pink. We spray the brush, dip it in the pigment, tap off the chunks that are sticking. You want to very carefully pat that on the first half of the lid. Now it's, with loose pigments, it's generally smart to do it before your base, but I wanted to have my base done before the video to save some time. So I'll probably have to use a fluffy brush to brush away some of the fallen pigment. Anyway, cheers. Let that dry. Put a little bit more on the very center. I started in the inner corner, so that's where most of the product is gonna go. You also wanna like definitely tap off, because you don't wanna get like chunks stuck to your eyelid, because it'll eventually fall off and go all over your face. Or at least that's how it's been in my experience. I'm also not wearing any nails, because I wore nails in the one I filmed before this, but they kind of destroyed my nails when I took them off, so I didn't want to put on any more nails. I didn't take them off properly. I feel like it feels very thick. Maybe I got the brush a little too wet. It's okay. I'm just gonna take my ring finger and tap around that line. Kind of drag that around so it blends just a little bit better. Not great, because it's just gonna kind of look like a half cut crease no matter what. We now do the other eye. Definitely be careful when you're doing this if you have sensitive eyes. I don't even particularly have super sensitive eyes, and sometimes if I use certain pigments and certain setting sprays together, it can burn my eyes a little bit. It'll go away once it dries down, so I just give you a fair warning. Sometimes sensitive eyes might not like this method. Ended up a lot sharper than that one. I'm done with the pigment, so I'm gonna close it immediately. Take my finger, dab on the edge. I am, just because this eye ended up a little bit sharper in the line, I'm just gonna gently take the brush with the darker purpley blue on it and just run over these lines just a little bit. And as I predicted, there's pigment on my face. So I'm gonna take a large fluffy brush from It Cosmetics, and I'm just gonna very lightly and very gently do that, because you don't want to accidentally press. You don't want to press down to it with this, because it'll press the pigment into your skin and into the makeup and everything, and it won't come off. You want to get it while it's just sitting there. It hasn't sunken into your skin. I'm going to take this very itty bitty Morphe brush, right there, and I'm going to go into Serenity from the Lavish palette. It's like a pinky, purpley, blue shift. Kind of like the pressed pigment, but definitely with more purple rather than more pink. So I'm gonna put that in my inner corner. It's like a silvery purple with pink and blue reflex and glitters in it. And then I'm gonna do that on my brow bone. And highlight my brow hairs that need to be shaved and or plucked and or waxed. And I'm gonna take the Tarte brush with no extra product and just do a little bit of sweep so there's not such a harsh line in between the blue shadow and the shimmer shadow. Here's the eyeshadow complete. Very smoky, very blown out, gently blended. Very pastel, purpley blue moment happening. A little bit of pink. Keep it light, keep it fresh, not wearable. Also not super in your face either. Which leads me to eyeliner. I'm going to do a small line for my eyeliner just across my upper lash line, because I don't want to do a wing, because that feels too brash and like in your face for Libra, but I wanted to wear in your face lashes, the Glamnetic one, so I need a little bit of liner, because the Glamnetic liner is black, because it's magnetic. Because I wanted to do I wanted to do false lashes, because, you know, again, like Libra beauty aesthetic, you know, they appreciate the things that they really like, but then doing that with a wing just felt like it'd be too much, so I just opted for the to go with the lashes and no wing as opposed to wing and no lashes. Really didn't need that explanation, but that's fine. So I'm just gonna do a quick line, be right back. Oh, this is the KVD Tattoo liquid liner. No winged liner, but big lashes is again the balance of a Libra. Balance being aesthetic and beauty and the things that you like to look at, not being too in your face. So I'm gonna put one coat on of the magnetic liner, do my lashes, put on another coat, and then do my mascara, put on another coat, and then put on the lashes. I'm using the other one. I hate the like in the pot one. It just never wants to freaking work. It's too chunky. Pen is so much better. For mascara, I'm using the Essence by Panda Eyes, just to blend my lashes with the fake ones. I like that this mascara doesn't smudge, but it also doesn't do anything. Lashes can't smudge if there's nothing on them, or there's no length to them. I'm gonna do another layer, like I said, of the magnetic liner, and then I'll put on the lashes. The lashes, once again, are from Glamnetic, and they're in the style Shameless. And do this eye first. I'm about to throw an actual tantrum. They will not stick. I tell you, I almost just threw a massive tantrum because those weren't sticking. Oh my god. And I dropped the line. I'm having a great time. I'm having a wonderful time. When I tell you all, I almost started crying getting these lashes on. They're still barely even on, but I just have to let it go. I'm gonna use the essence on my lower lashes. I honestly think that my magnetic liners are just completely running out. This video was longer than the other one, and I thought it'd be shorter because I already knew what I was doing. And my liners decided to say, okay, goodbye. So if you see my lashes coming off, mind your business. Just could not get them to stay, and I just can't. I can't be doing this for 20 more minutes. All right, so for lips, I want to do a cool toned lip. Since clearly cool tones are it for Libra, I'm going to use this ColourPop lip liner in Cool BFF. The Black Moon Cosmetics liquid lipstick in Gloom on top. And then on top of that, I'm going to use this Wet n Wild Color Icon Lip Gloss in Libra. This was also from that Zodiac collection that I mentioned with the highlighter. It's pink with a lot of gold reflex. I'm doing everything in my power to not fix the lashes because I know I will obsess and I'll spend another 20 minutes on them. Anyway. This is the finished Libra look. Got some lashes that are bigger than life. Everything's very cool toned, pastels, little 80s aesthetic, but also not in your face. Don't know why I'm trying so hard to fix them, even though I know they're gonna be coming off here soon. Should also probably mention Libras are perfectionists. So yes, once again, the finished Libra look. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this will be the last full-length video for a while. But again, I'll still be posting on my TikTok, and I'll hopefully be making YouTube shorts. So look out for those. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love you so much, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.